The Marduk Company? That's not the first I've heard that name recently. They do security, I think, and I believe they're based outside of Calvert?
Correct. Their main headquarters is located in the Orid state. While still a young company, it already enjoys a large customer base within and without Calvert. As I mentioned, Mr. Arkwright is contracted with us as an external tester for our Tactical Research and Development Division.
Yep, that's how I wound up with a program for Mayor and my trusty little stunt caliber. We're equal partners in this endeavor.
Beyond that, in recent times, we've developed ties to various nations' public security apparatuses, as well as most every mercenary enterprise. We even maintain a technological partnership with the Warriors of Kruga, albeit only in a partial capacity.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that, although I've heard rumors about your company before, but that's an awful lot for one private military company to handle. Does that mean Marduk basically divides its business between its general security and its Tactical Research and Development Division? You guys must be swimming in cash these days. Taking up more and more market share as you supply tech services to militaries and Jaegers alike sounds like a hell of a recipe for success.
Leave it to Mr. Arkwright to employ such sharp assistance. It pleases me to see the next generation is coming along well.
I ain't looking for anyone to succeed me here. They're just part-time helpers around the office, that's all. But enough about us. You still haven't told us what the hell you're doing all the way out here. I understand how dedicated and responsible you are as a concierge, and I appreciate how much you guys value me as a tester. And to be clear, I'm grateful for all the maintenance work you do remotely for my Cypher too. You've been a big help. Yet coming out here like this, that gets into stupid levels of service. I know for a fact you've got other stuff to do. So why go to all this trouble, huh? What's going on behind the scenes to make you drop everything and wander out here? I suppose I can fill you in on what's happening, but on one condition. You agree to tell me about the anomalies surrounding the shards and your hollow core, as well as the stolen device. Do we have a deal? Huh. That's a lot to ask. This chick plays hard. You may rest assured I'm merely joking. You don't need to go into such detail. There are two reasons as to why I've traveled to Farbert. One of them was indeed to make direct contact with Mr. Arkwright. After all, I couldn't help but be concerned when our previous call was cut short in the manner that it was. Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean for it to be such a big deal. You sound like someone trying to explain to his girl why he was two-timing her when you talk like that, you know? Yikes, Agnes looks super tense. My other reason for coming to the city is to investigate the film festival in person. Say what? Why would you need to do that? Quite simply, it's related to the Messeldam Film Festival that was set to take place 2 months ago. It has to do with the circumstances surrounding its cancellation. You mean it racist terrorism stuff? No kidding, I think I'm seeing where this is going. As you all know, Messeldam was forced to cancel the festival after receiving a terrorist threat and witnessing a wave of suspicious fires. The city, along with a local security company that was forced to pay a fine for the resulting breach of contract, requested our services. That incident appears to be linked to Farbert's festival, which has received greater attention than was otherwise anticipated. As a result, the decision was made to dispatch me to reassess the company's risk evaluation for Calvert. So that's what's going on, huh? Now I get it. I'm sorry, but I think I got lost somewhere around Messeldam cancelled. Basically, if I understand her correctly, Risette is here to evaluate Calvert's security risks nationwide. That way, she and her company can be prepared to provide any necessary services if and when they're needed. The way she talks, it sounds like Calvert's hardly the one. That is awkwardly formulated. The way she talks, it sounds like Calvert's hardly the only one her place keeps a close eye on. Yeah, that sounds a lot like how Heyu elders tend to think. These guys have got their fingers in some pretty dicey pies. I completely understand your concern. It is certainly true that Marduk makes its money from wars and nation-scale law enforcement. On the other hand, we also take pride in demonstrably contributing in part of regional security. We also help to combat criminal cabals and other such groups, including ones that have seen their threat levels grow inconceivably large. You're talking about... I guess it only makes sense that your company would be involved in that too. So, long story short, circumstances more or less forced you to come out here anyway. I wasn't the only factor. That's all I need to know then. I won't pry any further. Is all that to say we are basically on loan to us? If so, give you free rein to act however you deem fit while we're here. Your skills are even better than I expected, now that I've seen you in person. You've got my trust, Risette, don't worry. That is very reassuring to hear. It will be a pleasure working together with you in person, Mr. Arkwright. Wait a second, does this mean... Are you saying we have to team up with us, Jake? You sure you don't have to give that some more thought? If you guys feel that strongly about it, I won't force you to work with her. But you all saw what happened back in the Waterway. I don't think we should look a gift horse in the mouth. Well... I guess you got a point. We're dealing with that girl and the angel thing, and we both ran off once we got their hands on the Genesis. We might not have hard evidence yet, but if I had to point fingers at who's behind it, I know who my first guess would be. Yeah. I agree. It's entirely possible that Amata could be lurking out here too.
I cannot claim to be fully aware of your specific circumstances, but our analysis does suggest that's quite possible. Having said that, I also believe that it's too early to rule out other potential actors as well. To that end, I will do whatever I can to help, even if I'm still relatively inexperienced as a concierge. Also, regarding the anomaly between Mare and Mr. Arkwright, it's rather curious to see an AI with no will manifest and react in that manner, as well as for its user to be covered so densely in shards. I may, however, be able to devise a treatment to address the symptoms of such unforeseen outbursts. I speak not only as a professional, I sincerely wish to help on a personal level as well. Oh.
You're really something.
I understand that I may be imposing upon you, and that you all may have trouble accepting my presence. I truly do. Regardless, would it be all right for me to accompany you all for the next few days while you're in the city?
Risette, it's okay. You don't have to be so hesitant. We would be happy to have you with us. In fact, it would be really reassuring.
Yeah, those wall things you used earlier were really cool too.
Hell, if anything, I wouldn't be shocked if you turned out to be more reliable than our chief here.
Hey, watch your mouth. Not that I can disagree.
Thank you, Miss Clodell, Miss Alfayed, Mr. Wei. Then from now on, I, Risette Twinings, will accompany you, Arkwright Solutions, during your 3-day mission in Tharbad.
After that, the group enjoyed a nice milky batch of chai, courtesy of the inn's proprietors, as thanks for all of their hard work. As they did so, they summarized to Risette the sequence of events up until their current mission for Nina Fenley and Judith Lanster. They delved into the Genesis and the Grendel, as well as the crimes committed by Amata, revelations that stunned the concierge. For her part, she swore to keep what she learned strictly confidential and not divulge anything to her employer without permission. Such sincere consideration for their circumstances further cemented the newfound trust Arkwright Solutions had in Risette. Soon enough, with the sun setting, Van fully recovered and regained his stamina. The party decided to venture back outside, both to find a place to eat at for dinner, as well as to report back to the actresses on their progress. 6:02 p.m. Now this is more my kind of scene. A city only really comes alive at night, if you ask me. You know what that means? Time to hit the streets and see what sort of joints with foxy ladies we've got around here. Aaron, do grow up. I don't know what these fox ladies you're talking about are. All I know is I'm starving. Don't mind him, he's just driving with his pants, you might say. We've still got some time to kill before our meeting. Let's take another look around town while scooping out somewhere to sit down and eat. I know it's not the most efficient way of going about things, but it's how I do it as a Spriggan. Hope us just meandering around a bit doesn't drive you too up the wall. Oh no, not at all. I'm actually quite interested to learn. Wanted to know more about your work for some time. To summarize, the plan is to check for Spriggan requests, responding to them as necessary while continuing to survey the city on foot, yes? Then, when the time is right, make our way to the Alnumera to report in to Miss Fenley and Miss Lanster. Is my understanding correct? Wow, it didn't take long to adapt to how we do things. Seriously, it's like she's been with us the whole time. Quick, Agnes. We've got to contribute something. Something. Oh, yes. We still need to deliver those autographs to Shahina. Hey, you're right. I forgot all about that. Ah, me too. Do you think she's home by now? Nah, not yet. Don't you remember? She said she wanted to stop by the hammam on the way back from work. Good point. I'm sure it's reopened by now. Might as well stop by and see how they're doing. Sounds like a plan. Well, what are we waiting for? No time to lose. Let's get to work, everyone. Indeed. Lead the way, everyone. I'll follow along.
Reward deposited.
4,000 Mira from the hammam. Risette joined the party.
We'll just have a quick break, that's all.
Thanks for fixing the problem over at the hammam down the street. You guys have been a big help around here. If only one would take a page out of your book, instead of doing something worthwhile with her time, she's just playing Cupid all year. She wants me to hurry up and settle down for the future of the inn, but I'm just not ready to take over, and I'm not being humble. One time I just happened to say how pretty one of her dancing sisters was, and then she went out and tried to find a girl like her. If you're wondering why she didn't introduce us, it's because she couldn't possibly picture us being a good fit, which... On behalf of the hammam owner, I just wanted to thank you all again for helping out with that. It's amazing just how much we can all accomplish when we come together to solve a problem like that. Also, I'm glad we have an extra bed to spare for that lovely new lady you added to your ranks. I hate having to put her in that spare room, but all of our other rooms are full. You got really lucky with your reservation there.
Indeed.
Now that our son's getting older, I feel it's time for him to start getting ready to take over the inn in the future. I'm trying to set him up with a nice girl so he'll settle down, but he's completely glum about the whole idea. Puts me in a bit of a spot. I wish he had more confidence in himself. He's a perfectly capable young man who's got his act together. What isn't there to like? There's another trader I know who lost his camel. Sounded like a real nightmare. I've got to be careful so the same thing doesn't happen to me. Cross that bridge if I come to it. For now I'm taking a break. You only live once. I bought one of those orbital hookahs that are so big right now. Might as well give it a whirl, right? And I'm still skeptical about these things. Even with a film festival right around the corner, and the nights around here have gotten strangely loud and hectic. Unlike the entertainment district, it used to be that when the sun was down, things really mellowed out in the cultural district. But lately it's become more and more like the entertainment district. It's a little concerning.
Alrighty.
I can sympathize with Abdullah's worries. Farbad is changing so fast it feels as though we hardly have time to even remember tradition. Even so, we mustn't forget that we have Professor Hamilton and their incredible work to thank for our current fortune. It would be disrespectful to everything she's done for our fair city to completely reject the Farbad we have today. It might well be worth it for us to take a step back like she did and reconsider our position. Bah, the scent of these newfangled mechanical hookahs. They've ruined the flavor of our own hookahs over here. What could these people possibly want, thinking they can come in with their weird devices mechanizing our culture? I'm going to need to have another talk with Father Mukhtar about the state of the world, because I don't like where it's headed, that's for sure. It's amazing how good the hammam is at cleaning your skin and removing hair. I heard stories before, but my mumming is believing. I don't just feel like I look better, I can tell my blood flow has improved too. I'm so nice and warm, I go to sleep like a log tonight. I should see if Altair has any hammams. Wait, no I shouldn't. It'll just ruin the surprise when I go there, if I know what to expect. Traditional technology like this is so impressive. Remember being blown away by the lily bath I took when I was in Ramifaria too. Thanks for getting the water back and running again, everyone. Feel free to relax here as long as you all like. Vec, I know you only asked for one free bath, but you can use these facilities as much as you like. I heard how much trouble it was. It's become easy to take our water for granted nowadays, even though we're in the middle of a desert. But before the professor and the Vern company came through with a waterwork project, sometimes we went bone dry out here. We've been blessed with so much water for 20 years I was beginning to forget what a miracle that whole system really is.
Alrighty.
Hi Shayna, hi Sarah. Looks like your hunch was right. Good to see you ladies. Oh hello everyone. The owner was just telling us about you all. It sounds like you guys had to clear out some monsters to get the baths back up and running. That's amazing, I knew you guys were talented. Thanks again for everything you did. I'd still be in the dire straits if it weren't for you folks. All part of us being a Spriggan. We got plenty out of that whole experience too, so it was good for everyone. Well, that's good to hear. By the way, who might you be? I don't believe you were with them earlier. Forgive my late introduction, you may call me Risette. I was dispatched here on short notice. You two are Miss Sarah and Miss Shahina, correct? It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Nice to meet you too. Wait, is that a maid outfit you're wearing? I've never seen one of those in person before. Not precisely. This is a uniform that I wear for work. You can think of it as a combat suit designed to let me offer maximum support to my customers when needed. That sounds complicated. Whatever it is, you look super cool in it, that's for sure. Hey, since we're all here, why don't you guys join us in the baths? There's so much I want to talk about. That sounds like fun. Maybe we could all get dinner together afterwards too? There's a place close by I always go to, that I'm sure you all would enjoy. Sure, we'd be happy to take you up on that. Probably not a bad idea for us to wash up before we meet with our clients again anyway. Say what you like, I know you're just looking for an excuse to take a dip. Not that I'm against it. I could really use a bite to eat, but that's okay. The bath sounds good after everything we've done today. When it's settled, we'll join you two in the baths. Yay, that's perfect. Come on, I'll show you where the girl ones are. Shahina, calm down. We've had a long day. Take as long as you want in there, folks. You've earned it.
Man, this blows. I didn't consider the fact that I'd be stuck alone in here with you.
Would you pipe down? You're killing the vibe. Just close your eyes and relax. Embrace the tranquility. And then...
Oh, shut up. I bet you every mirror in my wallet the girls are living it up on the other side of this wall. Speaking of girls, man, I'd kill to check out that maid and the older sister's scorching bods right about... Blah!
We sit on sacred ground, punk. Don't defile it with your libido. Keep it up, and I'll scrub you down till your skin is raw, if that's what it takes to clean that dirty brain of yours for the first time.
Alright, I'll drop it. Helios, you don't have to be so serious about
it. They're certainly having a lively time over there.
Ugh. Don't they realize we can hear every word they're saying? He's not wrong, though. All you girls are just as gorgeous as Sarah. I mean, Risette's hair and skin are both so silky, she practically looks like a doll. You're so pretty too, Agnes. And how do you get those when you're only 16?
Uh-huh.
I'm only a year younger than you. There's no way I'm gonna be able to catch up that quickly. What's your secret? What do you eat to fill out like that, huh?
Truth be told, I've been kind of curious too. I'd love to know for future reference. I don't do anything special. Fairy, stop staring at me so much. You're scaring me.
Shahina, please. Cool it down a little.
Well, I personally think Miss Al-Fayed and Miss Shahina are very beautiful in their own right. If anything, I should comment on your skin, Miss Sarah. What sort of regimen do you use to achieve such a glossy look?
Oh, I just use shea butter. The stuff they make in Tharbad is really good, and
Holy cow, you got Nina Fenley's and Judith Lancer's autographs? Thank you guys so much, I treasure these forever, really. It's no problem, I'm glad you like them. Those autographs have gotta be worth a pretty mirror. We're talking about two of the hottest stars around. Think you might sell them? No way! How could I ever? Still, it feels so surreal right now. I can't believe my own sister's gonna be dancing up on stage with folks like them. Who'd have thought? Don't get too excited about it all, Shahina. I don't think they're going to ask me to do anything that big. Well, I still think it's awesome that you get to be involved at all. Wait, by dancing do you mean for the carnal cavalcade? Yeah, some director named Salvatore Gotti walked up to me and asked if I wanted to take part. Not just him, he was with some other snappy looking guy too. They went nuts for Sarah. Apparently Mr. Gotti was all, "Baby, you're more perfect than Adios herself. A parrot isn't complete without you." He was dead set on bringing her on, whatever it took. It wasn't long before she folded like a house of cards. Shahina, you don't have to tell them every little thing about it. I'm not sure I know what this carnal cavalcade is. Is it some event that will be part of a film festival? Yeah, it's a parade that will kick off when the festival opens. It sounds like it's going to be quite a production. Like Shahina said, I guess it's supposed to include famous actresses and whatnot? I can see you fitting right in there, Sarah. You're gonna do great. I know Gotti can talk pretty raunchy, but his passion and taste are the real deal. He didn't say all that just to be nice. If he says you're perfect, then he means it. You'll just find out there, Sarah. I know you've got what it takes. Thanks, Van. That means a lot. Am I seeing things, or are you turning a little red? I'm not. Stop it. Sarah, Shahina. There you two are. Where have you guys been? Hey, Timur. We were just hanging out in the hammam. And quit calling me Sheeny. I've got a real name, you know? Sorry, Sheeny. You always be Sheeny to me. A friend of yours? Yeah, he's a kid from the neighborhood. What's going on, Timur? Why are you looking for us? Cause someone asked me to give this to you, Sarah, that's why. A letter? That's strange. I wonder what it could be. Thanks, Timur. What the... Is everything okay? What's wrong, sir? What in the world? Decline to participate in the parade or tragedy will befall you. Is this somebody's sick idea of the joke? I can't believe even Sarah of all people got one of those threatening notes. According to the Timur boy, a Central Easterner that he passed who was working for a shipping company gave a note to him. I guess the delivery person is most likely innocent. Just like with Nina and Judith, the culprit's probably going through several layers to cover up the real origin point of a note. That makes tracking them down incredibly tricky. Slippery bastard, they can't make it easy on us, can they? Are Sarah and Shahina going to be okay? I really think you two should talk to the guild about this. I agree. I'm sure they will give your case priority attention since it involves a civilian in danger. I imagine that any fee they would charge for the services would be quite nominal too. I don't know about that, huh? Come on, you gotta do something, Sarah. This really creeps me out. I hate to suggest this, but maybe you should quit the parade? If it's the safest thing to do? No, I can't. Apparently preparations for a parade are almost complete. If I pull out now, I probably cause a lot of trouble for the director and everyone involved in it. That's what will happen if I turn to the guild too, isn't it? We can't say for sure, but if things go south, I could definitely see that being the case, yeah? But Sarah... Van, I know this is really presumptuous of me to ask, but is this something you and your agency can handle for me? Of course, I'm prepared to pay you for your services and don't expect you to do it for free. And that's real generous of you taking on your case cheap as an extension of what we're doing for Nina and Judith. But don't you get the feeling she's trying to hide something? What? She is? I got that impression too. I think there's something going on with her we don't know about. Well, a deal's a deal. Whatever it is, we already promised we'd help her. Plus, for all we know, this might turn up some new leads. Following this could be a good idea. As a first step, would you like for me to pinpoint which company was responsible for delivering the note? Wouldn't hurt to know for sure. In the meantime, we need to go to the entertainment district. The other ladies are waiting for us at the hotel. We need to fill them in on everything that's happened, including this new note. And by the cutscene when I realized I hadn't said hello yet for today. So, welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak. I saw Sarah talking to some hairy old guy. He was weird. He was dressed up like he was on vacation. My brother says his name is Mr. Gotti. I guess he's somebody important who works for a film festival? Sarah looked so surprised when she was talking to him. Wait a minute. Is she gonna be dancing in the parade? She is, isn't she? I had a lot of turns today, which is always great, but every one of my customers was acting like a nut. It was scary. I've been getting a lot of people lately who are like those men who arrest Sarah and Shahina. People with no inhibitions at all. I had people doing my Sansi tours that tried to wander off on me and go who knows where despite being, you know, a desert? Now that Sarah's been recruited to perform in the festival, I just hope nothing weird happens that ruins the parade. That would be terrible. If I'm being honest with you guys, it feels like the city's gotten more and more dangerous lately in all sorts of ways. They might not show it, but I have to imagine that deep down Sarah and Shahina are worried. They work in the streets after all. Those three have so much on their plate. We hope they can continue their dancing in peace, but who knows what's going to happen. Good. Whoever thought our son would be so interested in other cultures? He told me he wants to have a lamp and a rack. We should probably just get him the lamp. Don't you think? A rack's going to be a bit expensive. I don't know, just because he wants a rack doesn't mean we all couldn't use it as a family. Why don't we buy a replica or something? Also, not to change the subject, but honey, what's that thing you're smoking? Oh, it's a hookah. It's a traditional way of smoking tobacco in the Central East. This portable type you can carry around with you only came out recently. Pretty handy. I know I've been trying to cut back on smoking, but I thought I could at least try this stuff since we're here. Can't hurt. And I'm currently on the case of doubting that. I never expected my son to be so taken with Central Eastern culture. It's great, taking it as a sign that we should travel more often. Speaking of Central Eastern culture, I knew about hookahs before coming here. But I had no idea these orbital hookahs were a thing nowadays. Feels like I popped out of nowhere. I appreciate my husband taking us all out on this trip, especially since giving our son so many new experiences. I don't know if him smoking that hookah when he's not used to it is such a good idea though, no matter how ambient he says it is. Are those hookahs really that good? I see an awful lot of people smoking them all over town. You have to wonder. Tourists these days have no respect for what they're visiting. Farbad isn't just some theme park that exists for their enjoyment. It's a place where people live and they want to live here in peace. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see that kid take an interest in our culture. I just wish more people were like him.
Goddess Arusha.
Our culture district isn't some sort of museum exhibit. It's home to many people. A place whose ways of living are precious to them. Figuring out how to preserve and uphold those traditions while embracing modernization is always a constant balancing act we must deal with. This temple does its best to respond to people's concerns, and we therefore serve as something of a representative of a community. Central Eastern temples are institutions of tolerance at heart. We always strive to promote mutual understanding among one another. Farbad used to be a trading hub first and foremost, but in the past 2 decades it's rapidly developed into a city for recreation. As a result, there are naturally a number of citizens who feel concerned that Farbad is losing sight of its original culture. I do my best to take their thoughts and feelings into consideration and talking to people so that together we can make Farbad even better. It makes me so happy to see little Klim take an interest in our folklore. It's been a pleasure to teach him about it. Some of our congregants have expressed concern that people are beginning to forget the moral teachings behind with such stories. But all you need to see is a child listening and enjoying these stories innocently to know that hope is by no means lost. See, I told you Mother Jamira knew lots of stories. She always puts her all into telling them too. That's what makes going to Sunday school so much fun. Yeah, I bet. She's really good. I'm so happy I got to hear new stories from her. This temple is so amazing. Even though we both pray to the same god, it looks and feels completely different from the chapel I go to. Wow, it's really that different? That's crazy! I'd love to hear what Western ones are like. Could you tell me a little about them? Clemens really is interested in fairy tales. I wonder what sort of books he likes to read at home. After talking to him, now I want to learn about stories from further west. I want to teach Imami all about the fairy tales from where I'm from. I know, maybe I should give her my picture book that I brought with me. That's okay, isn't it? It'll be like a souvenir, but of me, since it's from my home. She won't even have to travel for it. Now that I've introduced Sinem to everyone at the bazaar, we're going to go off and have dinner somewhere. She's not so good with words, but thankfully everyone seems to understand that she's sorry for all the trouble she's caused. Not everyone's forgiven her, but I was at least able to get them to tolerate her being in the bazaar, which is an important first step. What happens from there might come down to how hard she decides to work. I think I'm going to treat Sinem to a good meal before we head on over to the temple. It's about time she had something nice.
Alrighty.
Between running away from you guys and then introducing myself to everyone at the bazaar, today has been a lot. Like, a lot. I'm so tired, I feel like I could pass out any second.
The fun's only just begun.
Nothing new. I heard Sarah and Shahina were ambushed by some awful guys this afternoon. That must have been so scary. I guess drawing a crowd isn't all fun and games when you get to be as popular as they are. Okay. Please, you've got to help me. Is there any chance I could see a green-haired bracer who works here? I lost my wallet somewhere. I'm hoping to talk to him. He might know where it could have gone. Seems the reception is a little occupied at the moment. This guy must be desperate as he's coming in here at this hour asking for help. Indeed, let's watch and see what happens. Perhaps we'll learn something. I'm sorry, I'm going to need a little more information first. Could you explain what exactly is going on? Right, of course. Basically, I was on my way to Faber, driving along the Sand Sea. Everything was going fine until I suddenly out of nowhere blew a tire. Luckily, this green-haired bracer went over to help us. He was kind enough to patch up the tire with the tools he had. Turned out he was headed to Faber too, so we let him hitch a ride with us to thank him for his generosity. After that, we all made it to Faber, but just as I was going through my things so I could find my wallet and buy some souvenirs, that's when I realized it was missing and now I'm scrambling to find it. Isn't there something you can do? Oh, but understand. You want to talk to this bracer to see if he has seen or possesses your wallet. Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm beginning to wonder if maybe I got pickpocketed somehow while I was fixing our tire. I just want to ask if he noticed anything strange. Now, is there any way you can call him over? I'm sorry, it's probably going to take a little time for us to arrange a meeting with him. Based on your description, I know for a fact that he doesn't belong to our branch. That's what makes this tricky. I'd say it's more likely that whoever it was who came over and helped you was operating independently. No bracer matching that description is registered with us. If he's in town, we probably won't hear from him until at least tomorrow. Really? Guess I just have to wait and hope for the best. Still, if I hear anything about my wallet tonight, could you get in touch with me? I'll wait around outside by the oasis in case anything comes up. It never ends. I feel bad for her. It seems the guild's getting so many visitors, you can't catch a break. Yeah, I hope that the other man manages to find this wallet too. That's awful having it stolen. Let's have a chat with her now that we're here and the lines opened up. We could learn something interesting. We meet again. Looks like you're keeping busy taking people's requests this late. Ah, you all again. You heard what I'm guessing? Yeah, we did. I'm sorry, we didn't really mean to pry. That man said he lost his wallet, right? If only there was some way to talk to that green-haired bracer you mentioned at his side of the story. Indeed. Although it sounds like determining which bracer it was could prove to be difficult. You're telling me I'm pretty confident it's someone from out of town who decided to come by and help. But when he'll get in touch, who knows? He could drop by after he checked out the city tonight. Could take him longer even. Until we can figure out more, there's no way for me to pinpoint which bracer it was that man met. So it's mostly hurry up and wait for tomorrow? Oh. You guys are weirdly interested in all of this. Who cares if this mystery bracer shows up with 1 wallet or 100? Lord Amira, sure, but it's got nothing to do with us. Maybe. But something about this whole situation stinks. What do you mean? Nothing, just talking to myself. Good luck getting this guy sorted out. From the sound of that one, you don't want to let this go? Well, that guy mentioned he was gonna hang out over by the Oasis. Couldn't hurt to have a chat with him, see if we can coax anything else out of him. As you wish, Mr. Arkwright.
Come on, I'm begging you.
No one here? At least no one we can talk to? How am I ever going to find this guy if even the bracer doesn't know where he is? Man, he could be anywhere. I guess I'll wait around a little and hope I hear back from the guild.
Can we talk?
Hey, I wanted to introduce myself. We're from Arkwright Solutions. We were just at the guild too and happened to overhear your conversation at the front desk. Oh yeah, I kind of remember passing by you people on the way out. Would any of you happen to know where I might find that green-haired bracer? Not quite, we're actually looking for him too, but some business of our own. I was hoping you'd tell us a little bit more about what happened. Would you mind? Anything else you can think will help, big or small? Like, did he have any other distinct features, or did anything else stick out to you in general? You too, huh? Sorry. In terms of features, I don't remember anything else other than he had green hair. I wish I could be of more help at that end. Lost my memory. As for anything else that stuck out, no, nothing really comes to mind. Wait, that's not true. Actually, I do remember something that happened after we arrived. We bumped into a police officer who was patrolling the parking lot. I decided to go up to him and say hello, strike up a little bit of a conversation. For some reason, the bracer looked uncomfortable. He wouldn't look the officer in the eye. A bracer was avoiding a police officer's gaze entirely? That's certainly a little unusual. That's what I thought. I've heard the cops and bracers don't always get along all that well. I figured maybe that's all it was. It did seem odd though. Wait, I never heard that before. Is that true? It's common for police and bracers to run into one another at times because they both work to maintain the peace. The difference is the police work wholly within the law, meanwhile a bracer's first duty is protecting people. So they theoretically can act extra legally to do so, and sometimes they do face judicial friction and, well, differences of opinion. Oh, I get it. I guess I can see how that would happen. In this case though, I think this bracer of yours might have had other real reasons for being a little skittish. I don't understand, what do you mean? Don't worry about it, we're saying that we're going to look into it on our end too, and see if we can turn anything up. I get you're keen to have your wallet back, but I think you should call it a night and come back tomorrow. I suppose you have a point. On that note, if I may, were you able to find a place to stay despite losing your wallet? Yeah, thanks for asking. The guild was kind enough to cover me until I pay them back. As long as I find my wallet soon, everything should work out one way or the other. I'm still anxious, but knowing that I've got you all and the guild looking into it, I guess I feel okay going back to my room for the night. I'm glad to hear that all's been taken care of. Please take care on your way. That's one way to get rid of a guy. Now we can talk openly. Right, so it sounds like this green-haired bracer could be an imposter. What are we gonna do about it? Wait, what? He is? Are you saying this like what happened with a fake police officer we had to deal with before? It's a distinct possibility, but we can't say for sure yet. If this is true, then that's really underhanded of him. You're telling me your average person isn't ever gonna suspect a bracer of committing a crime. Therefore, if someone were to believably impersonate a bracer, they would be able to get away with a great many things. That could be quite damaging to the organization's reputation if nothing was done about it. Luckily, as far as we can tell, the only victim who has emerged so far is that man, or at least he's the only one to file a report. If we're quick enough in catching this imposter, we can minimize the amount of damage he'll do. Normally I ain't exactly in the business of covering the guild's ass or anything. They can handle themselves just fine. I don't see the harm in sticking our necks out just this once. It'll help us understand what's happening on the ground in this town too. So, come hell or high water, we uncover who this green-haired chump really is. Hey, if it kills time, I'm game. Lead the way, Chief. I see no reason not to proceed. You have my full support as always, Mr. Arkwright. Well, if you're gonna do this, what do we do first? Should we see if anyone else has seen this bracer? Maybe if we talk to more people, we can start tracking him down. That's exactly what I think we should do. We need to figure out this guy's trajectory. If he's a fraud though, it's probably safe to assume that he's keeping his distance from the cultural district for obvious reasons. Because the bracer guild is here. Perhaps we should talk to people in the entertainment district and see if he's been spotted around Bevan? Good point, the casino dealers could be a good place to start. They're bound to pay close attention to who's coming in. Anybody who spends a lot of time outside of it might have seen him too. All good ideas. Hopefully once we start talking to some people, they come up with some leads. Well, no time like a person. Let's roll.
Commencing mission.
A bogus bracer started. Is this the other of the Devance brothers? Yeah, I focus on the quest for now.
Go, go, go!
Casino. Upstairs. I have the pleasure of playing against none other than Mr. Gotti himself a little while ago. I have to say I find his view on entertainment and how to stimulate audiences to be really fascinating. I completely agree with him that nothing spices up a scene like a big surprise. All the more reason to get excited for whatever that man is in store for his carnal cavalcade, if you ask me.
Can we talk?
I see, so you guys want to know about that green-haired bracer. Yes, I remember him alright, quite clearly as a matter of fact. We don't see many customers like him. Really? Tell us more. He came around here about an hour ago, while out on patrol. But there was something about him that looked a little odd. He was watching the other patrons for some reason, as if he was trying to size them up or some such. I think he might have been investigating something. Is that what brings you here too? Yeah, something like that. You happen to see if his bracer talked to anyone? Let me think. Ah yes, I remember him trying to strike up a conversation with one man who was playing alone. The police was also making their rounds at the time. When he noticed them approaching, he was rather quick to depart. Still trying to avoid getting spotted by the cops, sounds like. Was someone acting so brazen, this guy's a real chicken shit. I'm a little concerned about him staring at the other visitors like that too. Indeed, the more we talk, the more hindsight makes me feel something was amiss with him. In any case, I'm afraid that is all that I can share about the bracer in question. I can only guess what we both want with him. But regardless, I wish you all luck in your endeavors. Well, thanks for your time, and for the hot tip too. Okay folks, let's see if anyone else caught wind of our sneak. As you wish.
This area has a casino and nightclub. I assume you wish to visit them. For intel gathering, of course.
Please tell me that's not why we're here.
Of course not. You think I'd let minors into a club? Have a little faith in me.
You make it hard to sometimes.
Hey man, nothing wrong with a little pleasure before business.
Nate. This guy, first I catch him eyeing up a nightclub while he and I are supposed to be out on a date together, then just happens to get a call from work while I'm lecturing him, then skips out on our date altogether. This couldn't get much worse of a night even if I tried. Inspector, what do you mean I have to get ready? You're coming out to Faber tomorrow, but why? I mean, yes, I get it's for an investigation, but why do I have to get involved when I'm supposed to be taking time off? I understand, sir, but if you insist, I'm going to receive additional time off later to make up for this, right? Innit, honey, you're not doing what I think you're doing, are you? Sorry, babe, duty calls, I've got work to do. So much for being serious. Wait, is he telling the truth? You're kidding me. That's not supposed to happen on my vacation. Man, I didn't expect the inspector to show up all the way out here. I'm supposed to be off duty for crying out loud, and on a date to boot. Can't he respect a guy's precious downtime?
Let me ask you something.
Huh? You're saying you're looking for a green-haired bracer? Yeah, we saw a guy like that. He came up and talked to us earlier today, as a matter of fact. No kidding. I was just trying my luck and asking. Didn't expect you all to have actually seen the guy. Yeah, well, congrats. Now will you guys scram? We're in the middle of a date. Oh, come on, what's a little favor between fans, huh? Just tell us what you know about that nerd, and we'll get it right out of your hair. Believe me, last thing any of us want is to interrupt your little tries, right as it was getting good. You punks have a way of pushing my buttons. Fine, let's talk. Long story short, we were talking to your green-haired bracer just a bit ago. He asked if we are having trouble with anything and offered to help. Just out of the blue like that? Interesting. And then what? Nothing really. He cut things short and then took off for somewhere. Looking back on it, it wasn't really, I don't know, bracer-like of him to do. Babe, don't you remember? He went away after you said there was nothing to worry about because you're a cop. Maybe it's just me, but it felt like he got really tense as soon as you mentioned that. Oh yeah, I guess he did, didn't he, huh? The rest of the story is completely unremarkable. However, the fact that he was so concerned about police attention certainly stands out. Feels like we're starting to close in on the guy. Thanks for filling us in. Sorry to eat up so much of your time. Go on and enjoy the rest of your Sprigganless date. I was Sprigganless until your idiots showed up. I don't know what you all are investigating this time, but you better not cause trouble for the police, got it? Alright, think we talked to enough folks that we can paint a decent picture of what's going on. Let's find some place quiet to talk and see what we come up with. In that case, might I suggest that area over there? Now if you've all settled, let's go over what we know. First, the green-haired bracer's shown some weird behavior for a guy in his line of work. He's overly leery of cop attention, even for a bracer. He was seizing up customers at a casino. Which is to say, that's not Bracer's act, he's rolling like a petty thief. Which would make sense if a bracer appearance is simply a disguise. This is starting to sound a lot like that man impersonating a policeman earlier today. Yep, and just like then, going around impersonating a bracer is not the kind of heat you're gonna wanna risk getting nicked for. No, this smells like a case of greed getting the better of a guy while he's working towards something else. Oh yeah, but Officer Kilmilo was one of the Devancy brothers that are wanted by the police, right? Could the bracer be the other brother? Whatever it all is, our main problem right now is that all the items and support we have come from stuff that just took place. For a guy who seems to be wandering around looking for suckers to rob, he doesn't exactly have a whole lot to show for it. Which could mean... But since he's already successfully robbed someone after getting in their car, he could be thinking of trying that again. Exactly, that's my hunch. Is there any way we can put a stop to him before he targets anyone else? Actually, I may have a suggestion toward that end. If you assume that the perpetrator is going to target drivers of a car with a flat tire, as he did before, then why don't I conduct a wide area search for potential car targets once driving into Farbad this evening? Damn, you can do that? That would save us a lot of trouble. Indeed I can. It's a form of shard-based information analysis. Well then, I shall initiate the search, starting now. Search complete. Oh, what do we have here? As it happens, there appears to be a car stranded near the entrance of a city. Bingo, if this guy's gonna strike again, odds are good that's our mark. Yeah, let's keep an eye on that car signal while we stake out the so-called bracer. See if he finally shows himself. With how close that car is, it should only take a few minutes for it to pull into town. We go to the parking lot and wait there. Sounds good to me. I have been looking into the new arrivals who are coming into the area from the Central East. So far nothing suspicious has turned up about what's coming from El Sain, which means... Either way, Faber's going to see an influx of tourists starting tomorrow. We have to optimize our intel gathering as best we can. We can't expect our help from the capital to take care of everything for us.
Well,
Several minutes after commencing the stakeout in the parking lot... Man, I don't know how we could have made it here if it weren't for you. Seriously, thank you so much. No problem, just happy I could help at all, really. I only did a quick fix, so you really should take all reliable here into a mechanic later and have it looked at by a professional. Will do, thanks again for everything. But isn't there something we can do to repay you? I feel bad not doing more. Don't worry, all in a day's work for a bracer. Your thanks is its own reward. Oh, it is. Jewels when you can nick a reward of your choice to boot. What the... Gotcha, pal, not going anywhere. What do you think you're doing? Sorry to scare you folks, we're with Arkwright Solutions. We've been on a trail of this guy for a reason that will become clear in a moment. What? Why he's a bracer? What could he have possibly done wrong? Get your hands out, rabbits! And that is a wallet. Does it happen to belong to you guys? What? Yeah, that's mine. I had it stashed inside my bag on the back seat. Are you telling me this bracer stole it? That's exactly it, and that's just the start. Just so you all don't get the wrong idea about bracers. You should know this guy's a fraud. This may sound like a strange question to ask, but did you guys get a flat tire on your way to town tonight? Yeah, we did actually. I figured it was because it was such a long drive. Luckily, this bracer happened to come across us and offered to help. That's how we got here. So that's the problem. It's very likely he's the one who punctured your tire in the first place. He seems to have this method where he bursts the tire and pretends to be passing by before offering to repair it. He then hitches a ride back to town and steals whatever he finds in the back seat. Isn't it right? If I got some part wrong, now's the time to correct me. By idiot, so he was pretending to be a bracer all along just so he could rob me? I didn't sense anything wrong at all. If you guys hadn't shown up when he did, we'd have been completely clueless. And whose fault is that, huh? That's what you get for trusting someone just because they say they're a bracer, you morons. So whatever, maybe took things too far this time because they were so easy to sucker, who cares? Go ahead and turn me in. At the end of the day, our objective is still within reach. So there is more going on. What are you planning? Who can say? Once we get our hands on that, they'll be able to post bail for me. No problem. It'll be a drop in the bucket. Take me to the braces or police or whoever you want. See what I care. Oh, looks like we got a sassy one on our hands. I think this guy needs to be taught a lesson he won't forget. Do your worst, dirtbag. I dare you. Put it in park, kid. There's no need for us to rake him over coals personally. We turn him into the guild and then he'll be their problem. That's why they owe us a favor for saving their reputation. In that case, I contact the Bracer Guild so arrangements can be made. Although, before I do so, I must say, Mr. Arkwright, this has been a rather impressive exercise. It's been a true honor and a pleasure to finally see for myself how such a renowned spriggan goes about his business. I don't need to be buttered up. Thanks, but just string him up already so we can get on with the rest of our night. As you wish. Upon receiving Risette's call, the Bracer team rushed to the scene, taking the Emerald Head imposter into custody themselves. As for the tourists, they were subsequently brought to both the guildhouse and police to testify about what took place. Similarly, Van and the others also visited the Bracer Guild to offer their own report on the matter. I can't believe the Bracer we were looking for turned out to be a fake. I'm glad you found him as quickly as you did. It could have caused real problems for us if he had stayed on the loose for too long. On behalf of the guild, you have our sincerest thanks for stopping him. We really appreciate it. Nah, don't mention it. Our curiosity got the better of us, that's all. Though some might say that you guys owe us one, regardless. Oh, no question. We're more than willing to compensate you for everything you've done, including paying you for your time. I'm just surprised that Bracer turned out to be who he was. Yeah, another one of those thieving brothers who are wanted back in Edith. That's crazy. We've already mentioned that both of them. Hopefully it means there'll be a little less crime around here at the very least. Agreed, the film festival probably needs heightened security in light of all this. Anyway, thanks again for taking care of all that, everyone. If anything else comes up tomorrow, we'd appreciate your help then too.
All in a day's work. Mira deposit confirmed.
The fact that we have limited room to navigate this case unless a civilian is directly armed does make things more difficult. We're trying to investigate what's going on in Farward's shadows right now. Fortunately, we can only take it so far by ourselves. We probably need to coordinate with the police to some extent to get anywhere. Which to say, if you all find anything, please don't keep it to yourself. The more we work together, the better this will all end. Okay, but I think I end the episode here, and we continue this next time. With further exploration. Because the quest kinda interrupted that. Until next time then, I'm Mace and don't get lost.